G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out, and thank you so much for being here with me today. I am going to do another take on a Larimar for you today. So, do you remember seeing this one? It's about, a couple of weeks ago now that I did this one in my chunky edge mold. So I'm going to try for something like this again, but with this one I had a red, a blue and a yellow mixed with resin, and I poured them into blobs all the way around. I will link this video for you if you missed this up in the top corner at the end of this video. So instead of mixing the resin and adding blobs, I'm going to just drop alcohol ink straight into the mold. Now this is inspired by the lovely Nicole Martin. Hi Nicole. She does amazing Larimars, and she hasn't videoed them. She doesn't do YouTube videos yet. I have been asking her to. But anyway, this one is inspired by one that she did recently. All right, so first things first, we need to make our white base. The resin that I've got here is the Resin Pro Transparante. It's pretty thin. Doesn't leave a mound or anything, it's really thin. And this is a, gosh, is it a 100 to 70 or 100 to 60, something like that. Strange numbers, but anyway. So I am going to do 60 grams in here, which is 2 ounces. And I've just got my little scale here. It's easy for me to weigh out. I've got way too much, went to 65. 59, there we go. So that's 60 there. Let me just wipe that so it doesn't drip. So now I need to zero that, and I am going to use the Enoki resin ink by Octopus Fluids. It says strong effect there, Enoki. They do a few whites, so I haven't tried the other whites, but I've only tried the Enoki. And this one seems to work well. Just give it a really good shake. Shake, shake, shake. You want to make sure that that white paste that's usually on the bottom, and then some kind of liquid, alcohol, ink, alcohol, whatever they use is usually kind of floating on top. So make sure you mix it really well. So I want to put in 1 gram of Enoki. And I don't know how many drops it is, because it's probably a lot. Did I say 1 gram? Yes, 1 gram. So that's 98.981. 1 gram. There we go. So that is going to be for the base. Now I don't need this. Oh, yes I do. I'll just leave that there for a minute. I'm going to use 2 whites. So I've got the Enoki, and then I'm also going to use my Bloom pigment paste, and I'm going to put 20 grams in here. Just a little jewelry scale, I think. So 20 grams in there, and then I don't need that. So I'm just going to count out 2 drops. I like to leave it upside down in my little cup there, that way it's ready to go. Give it a squeeze, wait for the drop to come to the surface, and then let go. Because if you keep squeezing, you'll just get like a whole train of paste, and you don't want that. I'll just leave it upside down like that so it's ready to go for next time. Otherwise the paste sort of sinks to the bottom, and if you haven't got much there, yes, it's just easier like that. All right, so we'll stir that one in. You want it to be sort of like skim milk. I'll finish stirring that in a minute. We'll get this one done. I shouldn't stir like a mad woman though. I'm going to keep stirring it like I used to stir my acrylic pouring paints. Slow down. You move too fast. So slow down. You don't want to introduce too many bubbles, although saying that, it is a very thin resin. So you tend not to get bubbles staying. They sort of come up to the surface and pop really easily. Whereas if you're using a thicker resin, you know what it's like, the bubbles just stay, don't they, in a thicker resin? If you're a serious resinista, vacuum chambers are the way to go. All right, I think that's stirred enough. You can kind of see through that white onto the stick a little bit. So skim milk, you want to be able to see through it. All right, so we're just going to pour that in. This is my large ice edge mold. There's a bit of glitter in there from yesterday's pour. I don't know how that got on there. It must have been on the stick. Okay. So large ice mold. I will link it for you down below if you want to grab one of these. And I'm just going to go a little bit about like this and like that, just to kind of get those bubbles released if there's any sort of stuck on the bottom. Might add just a teensy little bit, like a half a drop. It's a bit lighter. That's a little bit lighter in colour, half a drop, than the Enoki was. So I'll just see how that goes. A little bit more. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I am going to drop in these alcohol inks. Right, I can just wait there for a minute. So we have got again with the Octopus Fluids Sapphire. This one says alcohol ink, not a resin ink. Don't use I don't know about resin inks. Haven't tried resin inks. Don't use acrylic inks. I had to play with it yesterday. It did not work. Did not work with acrylic inks. They kind of sunk straight through to the bottom, and I had wet ink sitting on the bottom of my mold. So we're going to try with the alcohol inks today. So yeah, I have got sapphire. I have got berry juice and honey. There is a lighter yellow, but I think I'll just use this one. The other one might be a little bit too light. Sometimes when you open your bottles, you get these little crusty bits from around there, around the edge, and they fall into your resin. It's always, see those there? It's always a good idea to open them over here, away from that. Anyway, okay, here we go. I'm going to add a few. I can come back and add more later, but I just want to sort of see. Oh, there's another bit that just dropped in from around that lid. Just trying to make enough room, allow enough room for the yellow to go next to this pink. And I think it's a good idea to use primary colors when you're doing this sort of thing. Because blue and yellow is obviously going to make, I'm just going to put a few more in. Blue and yellow is going to make green. Pink and blue is going to make purple. And then the yellow and the blue will make green. The yellow and the pink will make orange. Right, let's go a little bit closer into the center here with our colors. Okay, I think that'll do. Now, do I do any more? Do I do any more? Let's do a little bit more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That'll do. Okay. I have no idea how much of the color I need to be doing. Just going to add a little bit more. Was that blue or yellow? Oh gosh, I think that's the blue. I think this is the yellow. Don't mix your lids up. I did that once and you guys all yelled at me. Oh gosh. All right. So that's my colors. And you can see we're getting a little bit of green already and a little bit of purple happening. So the next thing I want to do is, now I'm in two minds about this. I either use my white around the edge now and then do my push, or I do the push and then the white. Gosh. All right, I'm going to do this first. Oh, it's starting to get warm already. I'm going to pour this in the middle, push that out, and then I'm going to go around the outside with my white. Only because this is what I did the other day. It was, I mean, it was similar. It wasn't the same, but it was similar. And it worked really well. So we'll just hope that it works again today. Clean off these sticks. Like to use them again. I do like to use my sticks that have got resin on them, because then they don't, you know, have bubbles from the raw wood if they already sealed with resin. Okay, so where's my little scoop? I'm going to add some of these. These are just sort of colourful bits of glass. Poke that in there. And I am going to have to just kind of poke them in. I'm going to spread them out a little bit so that I don't have like a totally harsh round edge. Kind of, I can still see in through there a little bit, so just kind of spread them a little bit. Alright, so that's pretty much it. I'm not going to torch it just yet, because I've just put in some alcohol inks, and I don't even know what this is. There's no label on it. It's just little colourful rocks. So yeah, I'll give it about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I will torch it. Because of the alcohol in there, I want to make sure it's totally gone, because, you know, obviously if you're wearing gloves and a flame comes up, you can set yourself on fire. So be really, really careful. And of course, I always have my fire extinguisher just over here in case in case there is an accident. Touch wood. All right. I don't know. Oh, no, I won't do a time lapse. I don't think it's really going to do much. I think it's just going to blend. Look, I hope it works. I hope it works. It's not doing anything at the moment, but hopefully it'll all move in and we'll get something pretty. All right. I will see you when it's time to unmold. It has cured. Doesn't look anything like what this one looked like. This one's got it's got little patterns. This one's just blobs of colour. So, not don't think it's looking very promising. But anyway, and also I've got a little section here that hasn't closed up. Look, you can see right through the middle. I don't know what that's from, but anyway, little clear spot. I did put it into my food dehydrator to hurry it along a little bit, only for half an hour, once it was, you know, set, and it wasn't going to sort of slosh around. Once it was set, I just put it in for half an hour just to cure it a little bit faster, because I'm impatient. Okay, there we go. All right, I will link my ice mold for you, ice edge. The yellow and the pink tend to stain. Have you guys noticed that when you're using yellow and pink? Those are the worst ones for staining. I mean, it's not going to change your mold at all. It's just, it's still shiny and everything. It's just coloured it. It stained it. All right, where can I put that? Over there. All righty. Without further ado, I can see straight through it. Let's have a look and see what we've got. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. That's really pretty. I mean, it's not colourful, as colourful on the top as the other one is. I mean, I've got all the colour around the edges, which is really pretty. And then basically it's just white. It's really cool, actually. What do you think? Where's the other one? I put it away. Oh, so there's the other one. And it's got a lot more colour. But then I did, you know, I used resin that was coloured. This one was just drops of ink. I think it's really pretty. Let me know what you think. Pop your comments down below. Let me know what you think of it. Or do you prefer, I mean, I still prefer this one. This is really pretty. But this one is so different and so unique. I've never done anything like that before. Maybe I just need a little bit more ink maybe, because you can see on the edge here. My husband just opened the door. He can see I'm standing up on my little box with all my lights turned on, and yet he still opens the sliding door. Oh my gosh. Okay, what was I saying? Over here, can you see there's little bits of yellow, little bits of pink, little bits of blue, and it's sort of moving in a little bit, but I guess because they were not as highly pigmented, they've kind of just floated on top. They've stayed on the top, I think, is probably what's happened, rather than, you know, sinking down. But it's a great experiment. Glad I've done it. So there you go. That's what you get with those inks. Really pretty. Got lots of crackles. Very nice. Very bright. Normally they're quite muted, but these are really quite bright on the edges. Anyway, I think I'm going to go and put some roast vegetables in the oven. Getting ready for dinner. All right, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you all again real soon for the next video. Okay, take care, guys. Bye for now.